All right, well, Dave, let's talk a little bit about it because I don't think I've ever casted it before. I have seen it. Yeah, so go ahead and tell the viewers about this map.
So basically, Descent Ring, you start on this little island. It's like a nomad start, and since they're China, they're starting with 6 villagers. Now on this island, you have 4 deer, you have all these sheep, you got some wood and some stone and some gold. But really the strategy in here comes when you're going to go TC the outside. Some people like to TC their little island so they can get the deer and the shorefish and they can have docks around there. But some people like to go to the outside really quickly, and it puts you behind in the early part of the game, but eventually you will catch up because there's so much space and resources to gather on the outside there. So we'll see what they decide to do.
A couple things to talk about. Dave mentioned a lot about the map. The blue player is... Oh crap, let's see if I got it right. Yeah, the blue player is Patton, and then in the red is FedEx. So both of these guys are from Argentina, and if I'm getting this right, I think Dave said this is the semifinal of the Argentina Cup or something like that. It's a best of 3, and I don't know the Civ choice, but I imagine it was Team Random or Pick Civ, and they both ended up with Chinese. TC a little bit faster for FedEx, but blue is right behind him. And as we were talking about before the game started, and YouTubers, if you do see this, missed it, it's really cool that, you know, these countries who are really active on the scene play these little events. I was saying I watched some of the Chilean Cup not too long ago off stream, and it's just pretty cool. It's almost like Nations Cup, like we were talking about, Dave. It's cool to see, you know, countries face off. Everybody seems to know each other, and a tight-knit community. So TC's gonna go up. Shorefish for red and some deer, and the same for blue, actually. Almost like identical spots.
Yep. The only benefit being that blue isn't on the gold, or the benefit for the red is that he's right on the gold. But still, yeah. Blue's on the wood, so blue can collect that. It's pretty even. They're both exploring the edge of the map with the transport ships that they had, and they all got sheep, so they're going to know where the resources are. If anyone wants to see this in a team game setting, and I'm going to plug my own YouTube, Finland versus China at a 3-game set. The last game is Descent Ring 4v4.
So, no, I'm kidding.
So don't forget to like and subscribe, right?
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Actually, you don't even need to search for Vicious Marauder. That's kind of hard to find on YouTube. You just need to search Cat Pizza, and it'll take you to Dave's channel.
Nope. Nope.
All right.
All you have to do to find your channel is to search Cat P.
No one's laughing. No one's gonna laugh at that. All right. So, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of this in 1v1, if I've seen any of it in 1v1 at all. I imagine you're going to want to get a dock up and fish, but also you need to prioritize that feudal age time because you want to control the water. So your build order is very important. Some players, well, both players, sorry, prioritizing their deer, probably will get that shorefish then as well. And I like the fact that they're scouting a bit with the sheep that they collect. A little bit of luck there, of course. But both players finding sheep with their transport ship, interestingly enough.
Yep, and both players now, it's a balance of when, like, you gotta have enough villagers just collecting food so you can spam more villagers, but you gotta get that dock up pretty fast. So you see them both going out to wood already. The fact they both TC'd so close to the water, like, water control is gonna be key here. I don't think if someone, like, gets stranded on their island and then tries to transport vills out, it's going to be pretty hairy for them. So honestly, we're going to see a water battle here early.
Yeah, I feel like water's the most important thing. If one player loses water, they might lose the game here. You get a TC up on the outer edge, but you give your opponent access to all these deep fish, you're going to be pretty far behind. So up times are the most important thing to focus on right now, and maybe dock times as well. I think we're going to see the dock around the same time for both players because blue is at 123 wood and 122 for red, so a big difference there.
Red's done a lot more scouting with his sheep around the edge of the map, and blue, they're both keeping their sheep at the edge now, so the transport ship from the other player can't find them. But red has a better knowledge of where everything is on the outside.
Yeah, and that's probably why there's a big score difference, just because of the exploration right now. And there's a dock for blue. And red as well.
That's the wrong side. He didn't dock the greatest side there. If he docked the other side, he would have a lot more fish, but I don't think this is going to get to the point where running out of fish is going to be his issue here.
Yeah, I think the one advantage you need is a good dock placement to like protect yourself for the moment, and just for a couple extra seconds. A red's dock is a little bit closer to blue. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference, like you said, but we'll see how it plays out in the fights. We are getting closer to the feudal age time, though. You see both players using their shore fish, and both players collecting the remaining sheep and deer. We're going to see like maybe 3 fishing ships out before we see the click. Maybe even more than that if they run out of their sheep and their deer.
The interesting thing about this 1v1 is that the outside, like in a team game, the outside is really big and you can't really range it with ships because there's so much more land area. But in a 1v1, like there's not much area here. And if you get like 8 range war galleys, you can deny a whole lot of the map from the middle water, except in the corners.
Well, it looks as though Patton is idling his town center. He doesn't want to create any more villagers. He just wants to get to the next stage, and he's about to click up here. He's clicked
good
up.
Time.
And with one more villager, Red is now idling his economy as well, and good time, a little bit behind, though. We'll see if the one villager pays off for him.
That's really good for him, though. Like, he's got one more villager, and he's not that far behind. So that's nice for Red.
Dave, can you say Saco del Toro? Thank you for joining the T90 Elite once again.
Saco del Toro! Gracias! For joining la T90
Elite.
Numbers Elita.
That's how, when I try and speak Spanish, I just put an on the end of everything else.
Or an A, yeah, like possibly the most racist thing you can do.
That's so true. And it's not intentional, though, I swear.
So blue's already transporting to the outside of the map. Red's doing the same thing. You gotta go to the outside to start getting lumber, because there's obviously not too much wood in the middle. And after a while in this map, I don't know if you've ever played it, Tristan. Actually, I think we did play this. We played that DM, remember? The 2v2v2v2?
Oh, yeah, that was an epic game. I'll always remember that.
Sick.
Okay, we don't have time to talk about it right now. Okay, we'll talk about it at the end of this one, so stream remind us.
Terrorists, that's what we were.
T90 pizza, we were the terrorists.
So both up to feudal age.
Both on 2 docks, and this is AOC, so no boring fire galleys. We're going to see regular galleys, and we're going to get to see them dance a little bit, which is what I like about AOC. The micro is amazing to watch at this level. But it's so difficult because you are going to be transporting at the same time. The transport will actually be very important later on. If you lose that and have your villagers stranded, that would be bad for you. But the multitasking is already going to be high with the galley fights, and you're working with the transport as well. Not to mention microing your wood line and things like that.
So blue's going out to scout Red. Red just needs to keep sending villagers to the outside, same with blue. I was going to say before we got started on that game, it gets so complicated later in the game, transporting villagers from this main TC. A lot of times people just delete it because they don't want to bother with it. As soon as they have a couple on the outside, they do not want to bother with it.
One big thing I notice at the moment, blue has 2 docks, and red has 3, and might be on his way to 4, so that's a big deal. But even early fight there, both players losing half HP on a galley. But I don't get why he has so much wood and he hasn't docked more. He could have built 2 more docks. Could be different.
I don't know. Maybe he's just not familiar with the map as much as Red is. Both these players should know this map, though, for sure.
Well, the way they started, it just proved to me they did know the map. They both sent the transport around as scouted with the sheep, so they definitely were somewhat aware of what was going on. Blue's mill is risky, but I like the idea if he wants to get some extra food.
Man, look at Red's mill. It's like a mill that a 1300 would make.
Where is it?
It's on the sheep.
What? No, I don't see it. Like what? I didn't even think because I was looking next to the shoreline.
He probably wants a market. That's probably why he made it. He just wants a market, or he needed the food right away. I don't know.
On the sheep, unbelievable, guys. Normally you don't do that. Here's the galley micro I was talking about. Man, I didn't think it would be there. That's funny. Even numbers at the moment. Red does actually have 1 more military, but not a big deal. First, the fletching is going to be a really important race, and that you're going to need the food for the fletching, so that's why both players are prioritizing those mills.
Blacksmith coming up from red and from blue at the exact same time. That's nice.
It's pretty cool. And
still transporting villagers. So the galley micro, like, I think they don't want to engage right now because they're so busy multitasking and trying to get a better boom. But look at how even the economies are at the moment, and the military as well.
Yeah.
The dead heat.
Oh, okay. Blue, he wasn't badly housed. He hadn't housed on the way up. A population is still 47 to 47, so, as you said, very close. You don't want to delete your TC in the feudal age, right? You want to wait till you get castle, so...
No, you want to get to castle age. Like, yeah. The only reason you would delete your TC in the feudal age, maybe, is if you lost water so bad that your TC was getting attacked, might die.
Yeah, it's true. Well,
but then at that point, you probably want to delete your life. So, like...
Alt F4. Alright.
Nice
really
galley
good
micro.
pickoffs from... Yeah, this is well done from FedEx. And he's pushing Blue back. Blue does have a weak galley there on the corner of that group, but nope.
And the 3 dock advantage early didn't really come into play for Red. It's like he didn't have enough wood or gold to sustain it.
Yeah.
And the military numbers now with Blue with 3 docks are equal.
Yeah, and both players do have weak galleys, so a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill involved as well if they are looking for the weak galleys. And sometimes you'll see players, when you watch their point of views, like click the individual galleys before they shoot. But this is the dancing I'm talking about. Blue cannot let up here. He has villagers on that gold. He needs to keep the gold. And 1 for 1 so far. I love this speed. They're still creating villagers, potentially still transporting. I'm not even going to look anywhere else. This is awesome. Blue's doing well to hold to his docks at the moment.
So Red finally made a mill on something useful, shorefish and deer, which is very... I can't believe that first mill, man. He saw the deer too. He had scouted the deer before and he still made the mill over there. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a much better mill. 38 villagers for Red, and...
4th dock now from him.
Okay.
He really wants to win the water.
And meanwhile, we're seeing a slightly different strategy from Blue, I think. Blue is not adding more docks, and it seems like he wants to get to the castle age. Yeah, he's definitely going
Well, Red
fast.
already has a market too.
But I don't want to call it fast castle, but I don't know. I don't agree with this decision. You can't lose military numbers on the water. Maybe Blue would just run and hope he doesn't lose his docks, but this is risky play from him.
Oh,
He's
Blue's
trying
at the
to
mill
get food.
he went right to the mill! I think he had scouted that and he saw the deer and he picked off 2 villagers from Red.
Oh, well, at the
and
same
he might kill the
time-
transport. That's so big.
Oh, he is going to find the transport. There's a villager there as well.
That's so
and he will kill the
big.
villager. Well, Red is trying to focus down the fishing ships. He did get 1, and he also killed a villager at Blue's docks, but Blue is on his way to the castle age, and he has bought himself some time to maybe get the upgrades first. That is clutch from Blue, and he killed 2 more villas on the wood line, Dave.
And he's going to kill him on the stone as well if he gets right in there.
Well,
Red's coming to engage.
Tower, which doesn't mean too much. Yeah, Red's coming back to his stone, and I don't know if Blue spotted him, but man, that went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. Guys, if you're ever, like, considering towering something against galleys, if there's more than, like, 6...
Not worth it.
Yeah, it doesn't do much damage at all. You gotta put down multiple towers. But here's the engagement.
Yeah, Blue lost 1, but so did Red, and Red will probably lose his second here.
Red's gotta go in as soon as he sees the castle age from Blue.
Yeah, he
gotta
has to
go in.
Oh! Oh, I thought he was gonna get a snipe there, I guess not. But yeah, definitely needs to stop Blue from doing a lot with more numbers.
Or get on that
He can maybe
gold.
deal with more numbers if... Well, he can't deal with more numbers. He has to have more numbers, do as much damage as possible, because he's just cooked up the castle, and Blue's just gonna run until he gets his upgrades.
Yep.
It's crazy how fast things happen in this game, because, you know, it seemed pretty even. Blue took a risk to run forward, and it paid off.
That villager's dodging every shot, though.
I see that, yeah.
Holy, man.
All right, well, this is the time for Red to take some shots, and...
You know what? Red might have a chance here, because war galleys are so ugly when they're to micro. Might have a chance to out-micro this Navy.
He has enough to one-shot these war galleys and buy himself some time. It depends on his production at his docks, but he's doing an exceptional job, even though he doesn't have the upgrades here. And if I was Blue, I probably would have ran away a little bit. And he also sent galleys next to the gold. That's huge. He's delaying the gold income. Yeah, I really like that move from Red. That was really nice. And his resources are looking healthy. The total, he's actually ahead by 3 military. That might change over the next minute. But that was a good move for him. Is there a university for Blue?
Although losing that transport from Red and losing those villagers, losing the transport is so big, because what are his villagers gonna do now?
Well, he's making a transport, yeah, and you can see these villagers on these 2 trees. Very good point. Really cool map.
Castle Age in? Yeah, I love this map, man.
I would
so many options.
I would suck at playing this map, as you know, but yeah, transport, Bodcanero, War Galley, and Red actually does have a military lead, so though he's building a panic university, if he keeps his transport alive and takes a decent fight, I think he'll be okay for now. But
yeah, he can sell wood for ballistics right away too. Looks like he's gonna do it. Yeah, getting ballistics right away. That's super strong. The military still even, and the villagers still even, although Blue has an extra TC. Red's not dropping one as of yet.
I guess Blue is going to continue to transport because he's not... Well, I guess he's not creating from his starting TC, but he could delete that, like you said. Maybe he wants it for protecting his villagers because they're still on gold and that stone.
I don't know if Blue's going to expect the early university. He's just going for one right now. He went for a TC above the university.
Yeah, I think
but
that
if he
was
engages
really
here, it might be bad.
We see how important water is. Why would you go for a greedy TC and delay your ballistics?
You were so far. You were so much earlier up to castle, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I guess it's a good point. He's just
Red
running
finally
again.
getting some transport out for these villagers. They're not able to do anything.
Oh, that's huge. And he can only transport 5 at a time, of course.
Oh, he's got 2 transports now. Okay. And
Well,
a TC coming down on the outside.
Of getting those villagers on the outside. Red knows where Blue is, but because Red is attacking that mill, Blue knows where Red's navy is, and he's getting ballistics, and he's on his way in to address this. Very close game. Red does have the edge with military, but he's had a lot more idle time. Blue should climb ahead in the villager lead, but you never know. This is shaping up to be an awesome game, man.
Yeah, man. We'll see who goes for land aggression first, assuming they both kind of... like, at some point in the late Castle Age, the Navy doesn't become as important. So, like, if someone loses the water, it's going to be like a Rooster situation where they try and go on land. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about this map is you can easily wall the choke points, so you could guarantee they're not going to be able to attack you on land with some stone walls.
Oh, big engagement.
Yeah, it's hard to say who has the edge here. Of course, Red had more numbers a moment ago, but I don't think he has it all here.
He's shooting docks and villagers and stuff too. Yeah. Not the greatest spot to engage, especially with war galleys. You got to be really conscious of where you're fighting.
Yeah,
and
you're just
fighting near someone else's docks. Yeah, not the greatest.
And Red's gonna almost throw away a war galley. Yep. Nope. What?
Oh no, one war galley. Oh, no.
There we go. I was gonna say, what's happening here?
Rip! GG! Someone call it GG! It's over. It's done.
Well, it's obvious that Red is struggling with the transports. He had to build 2 of them. So that transport kill almost did more damage than killing a couple villagers. That was a really smart find for Blue. Accidentally made a demo. I wonder if he has my hotkeys to do that all the time. You got a T90 demo in there.
So Blue's dropping a 3rd TC on the gold there. Edge of the map usually isn't good, but in this circumstance, I think it's really good on the edge of the map on that gold. And he's got a villager building houses forward. So is that villager going to go into some sort of military production building? Don't know.
I could always wall it off. I wonder if he's building houses along the edge of the water so we can figure out where... Well, okay, I guess this isn't against the edge of the water, but if he built it next to the edge of the water, we sometimes see players do that so they can figure out where the opponent's navy is, because the navy will patrol right into it.
Well,
Yankee
usually
Doodle,
on
thank
islands,
you for the 4 months. Sorry,
Yankee
continue.
Doodle. Usually on islands, you do it so that they can't like just blindly patrol along your island, and so that you can see, right? Because they'll automatically attack the houses. So red's going around to the right side, blue's coming around to the left side. Red cannot afford blue to let blue do this because he's got that TC right there on the gold that's just coming up, and these can take down a TC pretty fast.
Yeah, especially
and blue has smartly gone into the corner of the map.
I was going to say, especially when there's not a lot of villagers underneath the TC. Red doesn't spot this yet, but blue doesn't spot the navy there either. It would have been really big for blue to slide in there and kill some war galleys. Red is finding some villagers next to blue's starting TC. Blue
He's
still
so
hasn't
lucky
deleted
blue didn't
that.
find his TC.
Yeah.
So lucky. Like, red forced blue back by being at his home island, but blue could have killed that TC in an instant with that many war galleys.
Well, the amount of speed they are
hurt.
playing at is impressive. Remember, guys, this is live. We have fire
And the
ships
villager
on the way
count,
from
man.
red. Yeah, the
villager
villager
count is even.
is dead even.
Dick. That's really, really nice to see. Still neither player with the armor upgrade. I feel like it might be worth it in this circumstance because it also gives your transport ships extra carrying capacity. But like you see, red's already deleted his starting TC, so he's full on the outside now, so it doesn't really help him that much.
From a player's perspective, I don't understand why blue hasn't done that yet. He has a lot of idols on this small island, and it's just creating more multitasking for him. He doesn't want to be doing that at this stage.
Well, red's up to 4 TCs now, and blue's sitting at 3. Blue's going in with a villager. He's going to find that TC from red. Red, Garrison, don't let him through.
He probably
Don't
doesn't
let him
see it,
through,
man.
Red.
It's just
What
one
are you
villager.
doing, man?
Go! Woo, 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 woo.
T90 Gabe.
Yeah, we can do T90 Babe until we get T90 Gabe.
Gabe.
Gabe has gone down. Okay, well, blue is right next to the shoreline, and red could lose some villagers. At the same time, red is next to blue's shoreline, but like you said earlier
Red,
on...
move your vills! Red, move your vills! No!
Oh, and they're running to the left as well. So many vills going down.
But his
Not to
navy
mention
is
the ones
coming
on the
back
starting
over.
island. Yeah, but look at the vill difference now. That was big for red. I mean, sorry. Well, for both players.
Well,
blue could always retreat.
red has 4 TCs and blue has 2 and the one on the island. There's so many idle villagers near that. So I don't know, it seems like not that big of a difference at this point. But still,
Well,
all of red's economy being idled here.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit unfortunate for red because blue was able to build TCs against the edge of the map because that's where his resources were. Red couldn't do that. Like, he's forced to take
Huge
stone where
fight.
it's at.
Holy.
And hard to tell who's going to win this. This is
here.
closer to red's docks. You can see red dancing with the war galley, even though both players have ballistics. Blue taking somewhat of a risky fight, but I think he has more numbers.
This.
Not only take it, he's on his way to imp.
Oh man, so bad for red. So bad. And once red loses this, like blue could afford to lose C at this point, but not red because red has 2 TCs within range of the water. Farms, stone, gold, everything. And we might see the GG here soon before there's any land aggression, which is unfortunate.
Well, maybe red would be thinking, okay, I lost water, let's just try and boom up. And he used stonewalling as he lost his navy, so that might be his intention. But yeah, he's gonna be behind. I'll tell you what, man.
Well played from both. Oh my god, so even.
Game. Yeah, so fast-paced, so even. Not to mention that the eco for blue, who... I'll change him back to blue again. He's now blue. But that's insane to click up to imp. I don't know if he abused the market, but obviously going for less town centers on the edge of the map was the best thing to do there. Clicking up to imp after all of that, that's really impressive. And I'm really glad we got to see that game because you rarely see any water map be that close on land and on water. It was pretty cool.
Look at the timeline of that, man. Dead even the entire way across. I've never seen that, like a flat line.
Let's see.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, just
So
the
easy.
very end, Blue had a little bit more. It's like a fast-paced chess match right there.
I know
Everybody doing
some
the same thing
people.
at different times.
Some people don't like water fights, but if the players are good enough, I love them, man. Watching people dance with the galleys is really good. The players have to be good enough, though.
Yeah, I agree, and they were definitely good enough here. All right, so units killed for Blue. He had, well, 40 extra units killed. I think it came down to his initial push on the villagers on the mill from Red. Red lost far too many villagers there, and he was kind of trying to catch up from that moment. Resources collected there as well. There's the uptimes, again, pretty close. Anvil as well. So we're going to get into game 2 now.
I agree with 4N tracks. That map is amazing. I love it.
Well, we're going to have to do that with a community game on Thursday.
Next T90 series, right?
Yeah, well, T90 series would be great for that. I'm not going to do a T90 series until I get new internet, I think. But yeah, it's going to be
that would be crazy with no wall mod, too.
Yeah, I know.
Then you couldn't stop. If someone lost the water, you couldn't just wall up against the land aggression.
Oh, tell the history. Nice. We have to tell the story.
Oh, so, okay. All right, so this is back when, like, me and you were not as good as we are right now, back then. Like, I was as good in the late game, but I've improved my early game. But we were playing DM, and who was in the game? It was Gracie and...
The reigning world champion of DM. Wasn't Kellen in that? Yeah, Kellen.
Bro was in that?
Yeah. Basically, we had like,
Jose
world
was
champion,
in that? Jose Prado?
Yeah, Jose's like 2K. We had like world champion DM players and a couple really strong RM players. And so it was like, there were, I think, was Smarthy playing in that? It was like Gracie,
yeah,
Smarthy
was with Kellen, and Gracie was with Kellen, Smarthy was with Bruh, or something.
So we had some
and it was a 2v2v2v2 DM on that map. And like, the game went for like 2 hours, and me and Tristan, I think I was Mongols and you were like Huns or something. We're stuck in the middle portion of the map. We didn't even have a corner, and somehow we held on for like 2 hours game time of DM, like with the crappiest trade line, no gold, nothing, and we kept killing their trade over and over and over again.
So amazing.
They were so pissed.
We were dead, and for like an hour, we were just like, there was a point where they had the trade line running along the edge of the map, and I had 2 separate transports with 10 villagers, and I had 2 castles going up on separate sides of the trade line, and I quick walled them in, and I got the castles up in their trade, and they were so pissed.
This is like before we even knew each other too. I think we had spoken like a couple times.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We just like we were in TeamSpeak and we just went gangbusters. You remember that when you attack ground with a siege onager, it doesn't give the attack notification sound?
Yeah.
So Kelvin had no idea that I was killing like trade cart upon trade cart with my attack grounds with the siege.
You had, wasn't it just one siege onager too?
Yeah.
It was just
and he looked over at one point and there's like 50 bodies and he's like, "What is this?"
Oh man, good memories. Yeah, that wasn't streamed. We were playing that offline. So
finally, do you remember at like the 2 hour mark, they're just like, "Okay, enough is enough," and then both teams ganged up against us and wiped us off.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. That was a great time.
It was such a good game. Holy,
it's
one of those games you just remember. Yeah.
Because I killed at least, I think it was Gracie's trade line. Like they were leading. Gracie and Kellen are one of the top DMers, and I must have killed over 100 trade carts with those 2 transports. Oh,
we had no gold. Our trade line was like 25 gold.
Anyway, that's the story. That wreck is long gone. There's no way we can get that wreck now.
I might still have it.
Not
a match link, but I might still have it.
Next game will be starting soon. Shout out again to everybody.